The Witcher's Salvation. You play a quest, right? She will say that term a lot and a lot all the time, to the point where once you finish the quest, you just like kind of like whenever you say that name, Ditraina, right? You would always attach the term Kusei Majo right next to her name, because she said it so many times. The Witcher's Salvation, Ditraina, she is extremely good at doing light and dark damage and will be our best magic DPS for a while. So for how she's work, every time Ditraina uses an elemental skill, she will gain either infinite light or infinite dark corresponding to the attacking skill she used. And in order for you to be able to double cast with her skill, you always want to have the effect of the opposite element of the damage she's using. So for example, you want to double cast her 3-hit dark, then you use her 1-hit light or her 3-hit light to gain the light buff, and vice versa for you want to do the light damage. She has other skill, but none of them are good enough, so you would just run, if it's just A0 Ditraina, you would run her 2 damaging skill, like the one you want to damage the enemy with, and 1 opposite element so you can trigger the passive buff. Also, I will mention this, but Ditraina also get an accessory that increase her buff, but this does not increase the passive buff. It increases the buff she put on herself with her 2 new skills, so the 30% damage up and magic up, those will be having the turn duration increased by 1, but her exclusive accessory will not increase the passive buff she granted herself. And both of her passive is revolving around this mechanic of her. In addition to helping out with her skill, Infinite Light and Infinite Dark also grant Ditraina 30,000 damage cap each, can stack up to 60,000. And if you have both of her effects active, then you are guaranteed to deal critical damage. She can already magic crit without the 2 effects of her. Having both, they'll let you always crit though. And last is her ultimate. O10 does make her debuff like having 5%, but she won't be relying on this ultimate that much, so you don't need to ultimate 10 her. If anything, her A4 is stronger, so it's much worth to go for her A4 first, because her A4 is just like a big stat accessory, so it's nice. Ditraina deal a lot of damage, but she do have one weakness though, is that you do need to use the element of the opposite of the one that you want to use to damage the enemy. So if you want to double cast your dark attack, then you have to use your light attack to gain the infinite light buff to double cast it, even if the enemy is not with your light, but you can just use the 1 hit, because the 1 hit is also giving you buff anyway, so. Although it only gives you buff if you use it again while you already have it, so let's just say you have no buff and you use a light attack. Then on the enemy who is not weak to light and is weak to dark, then you are preparing 1 turn, you kind of wasting 1 turn just getting the effect up for Ditraina to double cast next time, which is annoying. Later on, this problem will be fixed by her torch point buff later on, which she will get once Alistia arrives, that it will grant her both of her effect at the start of battle for 2 turns. So this whole casting the opposite skill to double cast stuff will be kind of fixed once her torch point buff arrives. Also, she does not have any passive damage up or magic up, which is like kind of sucks. Like all her passive went to just increasing her damage cap to guarantee crit, but at least most magic DPS have some form of damage up or magic up attached to them on the passive, but she have neither, so it kind of sucks. In EN right now, the Witcher's Salvation is the best light and dark DPS in the game. Very much on par with Elga, but unlike Elga, she is better AoE attack. Currently in JP, hopefully her 6-star buff is good because she hasn't got a 6-star yet, but right now she does not see as much play anymore. For Dark, everything Emil does, he does it better than Ditraina. And for Light, single target kinda exists and kinda is extremely very strong. And for Light, she is still like decently good for AoE Light, but AoE Light isn't like that much of a like viable option. Like you do want AoE Light, right? You also have a few other options like Sazantos and also Odette. Odette with her 6-star and torch point buff giving her an 8-hit win that can also hit Light, so it's not that bad of an option. But her AoE Light is decent in JP, but that's not make her good enough to make her C play again, so So Ditraina and Erica, they are both very similar, very much on par. I still think that like the only thing Erica has better than Ditraina is that maybe her double cast is less annoying to fulfill than Ditraina, and that she can also hit sword in addition to hitting light and darkness. So in time 1 hit nuke, Erica is 2 times 500 at max boost, and Ditraina is 2 times 400 at max boost, but she has guaranteed crit, so time 1.25 is 2 times 500 also. Damage cap wise, they both have innate damage cap up. Ditraina go up to 60,000, Erica go up to 50,000, and they both hit light and dark. Ditraina excel better though at AoE and multi-hit. Erica is good at single target, but the moment there's multiple enemies, she is not as good anymore, while Ditraina mostly I think excel even better when there's multiple enemy because it's multi-hit compared to one hit. And also Erica do have problem with dark enemy in that you do want to gain point in her royal form, but her royal form does not hit the dark weakness, so you won't be breaking the enemy shield and building up point at the same time against a dark enemy. So Ditraina is also just better against that. So in conclusion, if you have Erica already, you don't need Ditraina that much. But you do want her though because she is the Witch of Salvation and that she is better at AoE compared to Erica, then you can definitely get her. Audio and Susantos are close, and both of them can also do AoE light and AoE dark, but neither of them can do it as good as Ditraina. So even though Ditraina might not be as super powerful for a long time like some of the other character, she will still be useful for AoE dark and AoE light though, until at least Emil from New Replicant collab arrive.